Yeah.
No.
Okay, I've been now since 3 days after Art Dubai. I've been in Saudi, and I think the big difference between what I've seen, in the past 10 years in Abu Dhabi, what I've seen in Doha, what I've seen in the Emirates, is that, like somebody said today, and it was not just one person, but more persons, and I really start to believe that you have probably a much more normal, which I call a much more productive situation right now in Saudi, because you have this diversity, you have this incredible social challenge, you have also the participation of women, and it's bottom up. Instead of that somebody says, I'm going to tell you what good art is, and you have to agree with me because I'm able to pay the highest prices and I'm able to build the biggest museum. Here you have an amazing layer, and I would say it's like soil, which with different layers, where all these plants start to grow, but these plants are completely different. So bottom up in terms of amazing diverse artists. And what's also a big difference is that the diversity speaks for itself, because a lot of artists are doing other jobs by lack of art schooling. A lot of artists are coming from many different classes, a lot are coming from lower middle classes, mixed with, of course, kids who could afford to go to America, who could afford to go to London. And even speaking today to Prince Faisal, he agreed with that this is probably because of these 30 million people, of which, my God, maybe 60, 65, 70% are under 35 years old, that suddenly something is going to happen which artists are creating themselves. Today I saw Tazami, which is organized by the Gallery ATHR, which is taking up a space which is instituting a cultural body being. Very important, an agency for artists. That means you have to market things, but also organize cultural events, and also organize a studio space and a testing space. And now I'm in this exhibition, which is incredibly well curated, because suddenly the pieces start to speak to themselves. Pieces made by people, nine women and 15 men, 24 artists in total, and between 24 and probably 53 years old. I'm talking about our Palestinian artists living in a very small space here in Jeddah, and I'm talking about a princess who is also equally part of the whole experience. So I've never seen that before, and I think it will take another 2, another 3, another 4, another 5 years in order to have a situation which is ready to take on a form of authority which is not dictated from here, but is dictated by those who make it. I would say that the self-organized exhibitions, which I see here, but also the self-organized workshop, which I saw today, that this is creating a very, very, very healthy way of going about the art. So what do we have to do is to take all these different scenes, the different scene at the ex-Amramco country, the different scene which I saw in ABBA, with this collective of artists working together. The curator ASHRAF is here, he did this show, he does different experiences in ABBA. Ahmad Mater is probably somebody almost becoming like, he doesn't want to be, but he's maybe somebody like David Josselin described in his book After Art. He's about connecting different people, connecting different ideas, connecting different forms of visual production. There are many, many artists here who are able to take on different roles, and that's so important. And now the infrastructure, the galleries, probably the universities, and hopefully also the ministries, from tourism to heritage to culture to education to technologies. They have to follow, because it's bottom up. If you don't careful and listen and see what these people are making, then I would say Saudi is missing the airplane, missing the boat. And maybe you missed the boat already because your country is not in the Venice Biennial. Maybe you still have to self-organize something, because otherwise, again, 2 years late. Maybe because of your riches you can afford that to be late. But you know what? Your young people cannot afford to be late. Thank you.
Thank you.